What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with episode 26 of the Fight House podcast. It's me, Jason Sutcliffe, with
Tristan Keddy.
And we got a good one for you today. We're going to kick things off with Daniel Straus. He's going to be here talking to us about his upcoming bout at Bellator 184 with Emmanuel Sanchez. The former lightweight Bellator champion is looking to bounce back and get himself back in the title contention. Steve Kozola is going to join us, an undefeated up-and-coming prospect. He's getting ready to take on Carrington Banks. Two undefeated fighters, actually, so it's going to be a really great fight. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see what Steve's got to say about that, where he feels like his advantages are, what he's expecting in the cage, and lots more. Emmanuel Sanchez is going to join us. He'll be talking to us about his fight with Daniel Straus. We'll get his side of things, where he feels like his advantages are, if he thinks, where he's going to win that fight. And we'll close out the show with Maycee Barber coming off a huge win over Mallory Martin at LFA 22. Promising future, 2-0 to kick off her career. Had a little bit of a weight issue this time. We'll talk to her about that. But overall, great show. So stay with us. We're back. 4 great guests. Tune in. What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with former Bellator featherweight champion Daniel Straus, who's set to take on Emmanuel Sanchez at Bellator 184 on October 6th at the Winter World Casino in Thackerville, Oklahoma. What's going on, Daniel? Welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? I'm excited to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're excited to have you on the show. How's everything been? How you doing? How's training been?
It's been good. It's actually been great. For those that don't know, I did switch camps for a while. I've been over at Henry Hoof's H Kickboxing and Combat Club. So that's been going great. Mixing up with some new guys, getting some good talent, getting some good work in front of me. I had the Hurricanes run through here, so that kind of threw a little wrench in a lot of the plans and knocked me up a little bit. But it's been nothing but motivating, and it's definitely helped this camp come to a good end. So I'm excited, man.
Definitely. What's it been like to work with Henry Hoof? And does it give you kind of like a re-energized feeling when you get to a new camp like that and you're surrounded by new faces? Like, what does that do for you in a training camp?
Well, for me, it's a little different. I've kind of been in the game a little bit. I'm not really one of these young guys, nor do I have like an ego too much. So, I walked in that gym expecting to, get beat up a couple of times, and it definitely happened where I didn't, got torn up a few times. But learned some very, very valuable lessons in that room, and it's been good, It's been really just positive for my career, and you see the guys that are learning, and then not just Henry. There's guys that are all around that gym that are, like Sean says there. So I can't even say his last name, but he's one of the Marquez, they're great help for me because they're my size, they're great kickboxers, and I have great wrestlers there, so I get a little bit of it all.
Yeah, you're coming off a tough loss to Patricio Pitbull. How long did it take you to kind of shake that one off and get back on the grind? Was that a hard one to take?
None of them are hard to take, man.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. None of them has been hard to take except that one. That's probably been one of the hardest fights to take. Mostly because, and it's 50-50, because a lot of people that know me will tell you I could care less about losing. I got paid. I'm still alive. I never thought I was going to be here anyway. So losing is never, meant shit to me.
Mm-hmm.
But to get to the position that I was in, two-time world champion, I fought this guy, 3 times. I've done more damage in 1 win. I've done more damage in 4 losses in 1 win than he's done in 3 wins.
Yeah.
So you definitely go into there knowing that I'm better and knowing that I am the king of that division, and not being able to perform it really did hurt me. You know what I mean? It didn't hurt me deeply, but it was like that's just the one fight that I know I got. It got away from me.
Yeah.
So respect to that guy, but that fight did fucking fuck with me a little bit.
Was it hard to get motivated for that fight again? Like, I mean, the only other person since 2014 you fought was Henry Corrales, and it's just kind of been a rerun with Pitbull. After a while, does that get hard to get motivated for?
I feel like that's what it was. You know what I mean? Like, everyone that talks about that fight that's around me, just like, yeah, bro, we know you're ready, but you just head, you know, your head just wasn't there. And it's like, I'm always excited to fight Pitbull. You know, that motherfucker can come and he'll bang, but in my head, to know that it's not that I think I'm better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To actually physically know that you're better than someone and that person continues to beat you, it fucks with you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, getting ready for that fight, you know, I had a whole bunch of things that backdoor things that, you know, the fans don't see. You know, the fans don't are a part of too much. You know, eye surgeries, fucking, you know, I've been broke or I've been out for so long and, you know, I don't have money to fucking rely on. Bills are coming up. You know, I have my child with me. You know, there's other life things that go on. So it's more than just fighting, you know, Pitbull. You know, I haven't used my hand in almost a year and a half. You know, I'm still going through therapy, so yeah, it definitely was one of those ones.
So how do you shake something like that off and prepare for this battle you're about to get into with Emmanuel Sanchez? How do you do that? What's that process like for you?
No, what was that?
I said, so how do you shake something like that off and prepare for a guy like Emmanuel Sanchez and, you know, get back on your horse? What's that process like for you?
Get back home, get back to old me. Fuck these motherfuckers, bro. I don't care about nothing else but fighting and providing for my daughter. Like, that's always what it's mostly been about. Mm-hmm. And then once you get to the top, you have all these people that, oh, the belt, oh, the belt. And to be honest, I never wanted a belt, never cared about a belt when I first started, and I think that's the mindset I need to get back to. And not get back to just to get the belt, but that's the mindset I need to have to keep the belt. Because once I stop caring, there's no one out there that can beat me. You know, the way I fight is just too intense. You know what I mean? When I stop caring, I'm a bad person to really fight. You know, when I'm thinking about the fight, and when I'm thinking about, you know, making sure I'm on top, and, you know, that's what you see in the last fight with Pitbull. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he caught me slipping, he caught me thinking, he caught me not being me. So, yeah, you know, I'm just ready to get back and, you know, fight this young guy, Emmanuel, and I'm excited. You know, I have all the doubts in the world that this is going to be. This is, you know, it's sad. This is one of those fights that's going on the radar because Emmanuel Sanchez is no slouch.
No,
you know,
definitely.
The guy can bang. Yeah, he's no slouch. The guy can bang. You know what I mean? And we're both like the same. You know, we can go a long distance. So let's just say he cracks me and I crack him. You better believe for the next 3 rounds we're cracking the shit out of each other. So.
True. You know, what's it like? Has it been rejuvenating for you to just train for somebody different, just to physically actually train for someone other than Pitbull, like, and a young guy coming up?
Like, has.
Sorry, go.
It really has. It really has because, you know, you don't have to think about the same shit every day or the same thing every same guy, and it gets, you know, that's the business part of it. I get, you know, I understand they got to make money, but so do I. You know what I mean? And by doing the same thing over and over, it's not really benefiting. I mean, let's be honest. It benefited Bellator more than it's benefited me. I mean, they got 3, 4 great fights at me.
Yeah.
Now all I have is 3 losses on my record. You know what I mean? Like, so it's tough sport. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So,
you know, what were your first thoughts when you were offered the Sanchez fight?
My first thought was sign on the line, bro. there's not one contract that I've been sent. I don't care if I fought him 100 times. If they send me a contract, another contract, and that's the first one I get, I'm signing on that line, and we're fighting 101 times. So I wasn't happy with it. It wasn't like I was like, this is the fight I want. But they sent it over. I said, fuck it, let's get it, and signed it, and sent that back within literally like minutes of getting it. So.
You guys are both vets. You've been around since 2010. He's been around since 2014. You fought a lot of times in the Bellator cage. You never crossed paths to now. How much do you know about him, and how much have you paid attention to him knowing that maybe this day would come?
A little bit, not much. You know what I mean? Like, at the time, he's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. I'm focused on one person at a time. But not to say that I, haven't noticed him. I've watched some of his fights. I like the guy. You know what I mean? I don't have a beef or anything with him. We come from two pretty much striking camps right now, so it should be a fun fight. I've kept an eye out on all the guys. There's everybody that's in the 45 division, whether they're highly touted or people know their names, or if you fought for the 45 division more than once, then I know who you are and I have looked at you. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's part of the game.
I'm kind of losing you a little bit here. Can I get you just?
Can you get me?
Oh, yeah. Can I? Are you there? Yeah, there you are. Okay. Sorry about that. I was just losing you.
No problem. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. One thing I will say, he's a very clean striker. He's going to have about an 8 or 9 inch reach advantage on you. I think it said. What are you going to have to do to get through that to implement your game?
Well, for one, I really don't think it's an 8 or 9 reach advantage.
Okay.
A guy, I think that's just one of those things that, on paper it says that, because that guy's arms, he does not have that big of reach.
Okay.
But if that's the case, he's definitely going to get dumped on his neck and beat the fuck up on the ground. So it's one way or the other. How do you want this ass whooping?
I like the way you put it, man.
Hey, you choose. I'm going to let you choose. You come forward, I'm going to try to knock you out. If you don't want to come forward, I'm not going to let you counter me. If you stall this out, I'm going to take you down. I'm going to beat the dog piss out of you. So it's like, that's just my mentality, and that's how I feel. I'm excited. I'm excited for this fight. He's going to get up. He has flashy, little flashy JT. If he can catch something, he'll catch something. That's my style. I like to scramble. He likes to scramble. He likes those 1-2s, those kicks, inside kicks, high kicks. And I'm just waiting for it. I'm ready for whatever he wants to bring.
Do you feel like he's going to wilt? Sorry, do you feel like he's going to wilt under the pressure? Do you feel like your pressure will cause him to wilt?
I believe so. But then let's look at the guys that we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about Emmanuel Sanchez. You can say he's going to wilt under the pressure. I know the type of pressure I can put on people.
Yeah.
He knows the type of pressure he can put on people. It's essentially me flipping myself right now.
Yeah. And
which one's going to win. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely I could put the pressure on him and make him break. But it's not. It's not as easy as I'm just like making it lay out right now.
Yeah. No, of course.
Again, he's a very talented. Everybody knows me. I'm respectful, and I don't have any ill will about him. But he is a talented fighter. It's just not his time.
Do you feel like you're going to have to go above and beyond to get yourself back to a title shot, as long as Pitbull's holding it, or do you feel like you can work your way back there almost immediately?
Listen, anybody that's going to fight for that belt has to fight me, period. There's nothing that you can say. If you're in line for a title shot, you have to fight me before you fight for that title. Wouldn't you not agree?
Yeah, no, you've been at the top of the division for a really, really long time. So, yeah, I definitely think that's a fair statement.
I definitely think I'll be back soon. You know, it depends on what goes on with this Weishel fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if Pitbull wins this fight, I don't think they're going to throw it right back in there. But, you know, I think I'm 1-2. If Pitbull wins, I'm 1-2 fights away. If Weishel wins, you know, I say maybe I'm back in there, or I fight a fight and then fight Weishel. So either way, I have at most three fights choice. You know what I mean? So whoever you want to give me, whoever you want to, you know, whatever. Dude, my mindset's so fucking, I know I sound relaxed. Actually, it's because I just took my sleeping medicine and all that. But, dude, I just feel so good. You know, I feel so good. I've never, anyone can tell you over the years I've been with like, I've always been confident in myself. So, and nothing's different. It's weird to be the old guy and be the vet in the 45 division, but nothing has changed with me.
When you see a young guy like this coming up and he's trying to catapult himself off you and your name essentially, does that motivate you in the gym? Do you think about stuff like that?
No, I let them do them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna feed into it. You know, the whole little James Gallagher, when he first got signed, tweeted me. I didn't know the guy. Tweeted him back and, you make them scared when the champ is. And it's like, what? Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? I don't give people that type of attention.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't is because think about how I came up.
Yeah.
Think about why I'm still not well known, like worldwide or whatever. You know, it could be for a few reasons, but it's mostly because I don't speak up. I'm not one that's out there bragging or talking shit and picking fights. No, I'm a silent killer, man. I don't have to say anything. I just got to be good at what I do, and I'm damn good at what I do. So all I need to do is show up, stand on the line, show up, and come to kick that ass. You know, that's more the reason why I am who I am. So these young guys that are coming out the gate screaming what they're gonna do and how good they are, and you know, much respect to them. This like that's what's become to this fucking this business. You know, the louder you get, the more posts you have, that you get the best opportunities.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think that way. You know what I mean? As long as I keep winning, those opportunities are going to come. Why? Because you can't have me winning and then say, well, you know, we're going to have you fight, 12 more times because you're not relevant. Oh, I'm relevant, and I'm going to stay relevant until I choose to stop fighting.
I like the confidence, man. I like it. If you have your way, how does this fight go?
If I have my way. Go ahead, say that again.
Okay. I have to try to stay impartial, man. Okay. So
I feel you.
So when you have your way, on October 6th, what's the result? How does this go?
To win, KO, TKO. Maybe in submission. You'll have to see. There's so many things I've been working with. There's so much I've been doing in the gym, but it'll definitely be a finish. It's going to be one of those fights that it might go a long distance, but it's going to be a finish. I'm excited to get with this guy. He stands high. Apparently he has, what'd you say, a 6-inch reach, 9-inch reach?
You were saying it was on Tapology, it was comparing about an 8 or a 9-inch reach.
He's getting dumped on his neck. He doesn't want these problems. He doesn't want this, man. He does not want this. And it's cool because it's not that I want to talk shit about him or anything, but I hope he's doing the same and feeling the same, which I know he is. Those guys at Duke Rufus, they're gamers, you know what I mean? And the only problem is I'm a little of a dumb motherfucker. I don't care. I'll just keep moving forward and keep cracking you, and you're going to keep cracking me, and we're just going to keep doing it till, hey, time runs out.
Listen, man, I want to thank you for giving us some of your time today on the show. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm looking forward to the fight, man. Best of luck, Daniel, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate everything, man.
100%, man. Look forward to the fight. Good luck,
Yep.
brother.
For sure. Well,
Yeah. That was the first time I spoke to Daniel. He's much different than I anticipated him being.
Yeah.
You know, because he's so like he says, like quiet, reserved, right? When you see him in the form of fighting, and then he's
Or
just
after
such
the fight. Or
yeah. After the fight, you know, you hear him talking
yeah.
about it, but then you get like to talk to him, and it's like it opens up. He's a cool guy, you know.
I was just thinking about like the fact that they'll never feed him to, or they never not feed him, but they'll never match him up with Gallagher ever in a million years. Like they're gonna avoid all
Those
that.
guys aren't ready yet.
No.
They're not ready yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Soon, but not yet.
Yeah.
I don't think James.
He was
I think
mentioning him a little
AJ's
bit.
closer to being ready for something like
Yeah,
that
for sure.
than Gallagher.
But I just can't. I can't even imagine him in the octagon like facing off. You know what I mean? It's just two different kinds of like tempo, to the fighting game.
I mean, Gallagher could sub him.
Yeah.
He could. I mean, it's not impossible, but I would definitely agree with you that I would certainly favor.
I'm excited to see him back in there, man, because he's been a favorite. He was originally on our original intro, and
Yeah,
man, it was it's gonna be interesting because Emmanuel Sanchez is no joke, like he said. I'm glad to hear that he for sure understands that.
Yeah, he's a rangy
yeah.
young kid who's hungry.
Yeah.
You know, as long as like he's in good health, right? Like he missed weight last time. He was having some nagging issues that he had talked about, hands and things.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk to him about that. He'll be on a little later on in the show.
Yeah.
Next up, though, we do have an undefeated threat in the lightweight division. It's going to be in a great fight. I can't believe this fight's not on the main card, man. Steve Kozola, he's going to take on Carrington Banks. Really looking forward to that fight. Two undefeated guys. 8-0 is Kozola, 6-0 Banks. It's going to be an interesting conversation. He's always open, and it's always a good one. So stay with us. We'll be back with Steve Kozola. He's going to talk about his upcoming bout with Carrington Banks. We'll be right back. What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with Steve Kozola, who's set to take on Carrington Banks, fellow undefeated fighter, Bellator 184, October 6th at the Winter World Casino in Thackerville, Oklahoma. What's going on, Steve? Welcome back to the show, brother. Thanks for coming, man.
Dude, thank you so much for having me, man. It's a pleasure. You know it. Anytime you ask, I will be on. You got it.
Thank you, sir. How's everything been? How's the training going, man? How's prep?
Dude, prep is amazing, man. Making some big upgrades. So I'm training up in Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center with Tiki Gosen, Coach Paul Herrera, and the beasts that are at this gym. Also made a switch to 10th Planet Oceanside with Gio Martinez and all the 10th Planet freaks there. Still with my boxing coach, Manny Torres, because ever since I've been with him, we've been getting first-round knockouts. So we're upgrading, man. Got a mental performance coach in Tim Dixon.
I saw that on social media.
Dude, we're making moves, man. We all because we're undefeated and we keep getting finished doesn't mean we keep upgrading. We always upgrade, no matter what. We see a problem, we fix it right away. If there's any room for improvement, we always get it.
What was the need to bring in not need, but what was your cause for bringing in the mental preparation coach?
Just upgrading. I've studied mental performance and sports psychology for a long time, and this guy's been doing it for years at a high level. He also played professional baseball, worked with a lot of collegiate athletes, and he was actually working out at the gym that Coach Manny Torres is at, UFC Gym Carlsbad. And then when I was working there, I started talking with him, and just right away I just felt this connection towards him and knew that he had something about him. So when I talked to him, and he found out that I was a fighter, and then I found out he was a mental performance coach, let's talk, let's meet up, and let's see what we got here. And we just grew a great friendship, great bond. I meet with him, once a week, once every other week, and we schedule our championships, man. We plan everything out and make sure we got no distractions, making sure that we're being really honest with ourselves. What's going on? What's going good? What's going wrong? How we fix it? Make sure we're leaving out any BS and distractions. Make sure we're putting the right people around us and that preparation is going on point. And not just for Carrington Banks, but for all my fights, for my future, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It's a life thing.
You speak so highly of preparation. I know it's a huge thing for you in all facets. We spoke about that before. Your weight, I know you step on the scale and you're eating and you're still drinking, everything's fantastic for you.
Let's go, champ. Already 8 pounds away. Not even 8 pounds away on a full stomach. Let's go, champ.
There he is. There we are. Where are you at right now in your dieting process? What's happening there in that process right now?
It's just always clean. I have a great sponsor in SoCal Fresh Prep, so that's been a huge addition. I don't even got to worry about making my meals. I get meals delivered to me every Sunday and every Wednesday, already prepackaged, already with the protein, the carb, and the vegetables that I need. And so I'm making sure I'm hitting that and eating clean always, man. So this is why I feel so good and feel so energized. I can hit multiple practices a day, no problem. My weight's already down. My energy's high. My speed, my power, my strength, everything's there, man. So I'm dangerous right now.
You know, and all that preparation shows up on fight night, and that's evidenced by 5 of 6 first-round knockouts, 6 in a row, 1 second round. You've been doing solid, undefeated, obviously. Last time we saw you in the cage, Jake Roberts, 28 seconds, complete destruction. Is it frustrating to train the way you train and to do this, to get in the cage and have it go 28 seconds? And it's like, okay, like back to training, you know, like that the glory part's done. Now it's back to that grind. Like, is that a frustrating thing ever?
Absolutely not. We train for that. You know, you train hard and you suffer here, so the fight's easy. You know, we want the payday to be as easy as possible. We want to go in there, get in, get out, and be like, what's next? What do you got for me? I'm ready. You know, I'm ready now. I'm ready next week. I'm ready for any short notices. And then, you know, that's where I feel like Bellator's kind of missing on me and on taking advantage of these short notice opportunities. Like, give me someone right now. Let's go. Like, you don't need to wait me 6 months. You know, I'm just trying to let them know, like, hey, you line them up. I'm going to knock them down. I'm going to be ready for the next one. And the more time you give me to prepare, the more I'm going to keep making these moves and keep perfecting and getting better and better and better. You know, perfection is impossible, but I'm going to do everything I can to get there. And the more time you give me, the more I'm going to get closer and closer to that perfection, which is just going to be more and more devastating to my opponents.
You know, you kind of just answered my question, but I was going to ask you, you know, this will be your second fight of 2017. Are you happy with that pace? Or you kind of just answered that, you know, obviously, right? How much would you like to fight?
Come on, Sam. We want to hit. I would love to hit, 4 or 5. Like, if I'm healthy and we're knocking these guys out in one round, man, give me someone, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Give me someone right away. Like, I'll Cowboy Cerrone this thing and just keep going. 6 fights a year if that keeps happening. It's not like I've been taking damage or getting any injuries. I train smart. I fight hard and I get things done quick, and I'm always ready to go. And I'll always, that additional paycheck, I just give it to my wife and my son to keep supporting my family.
True. What was the cause for the gap between the fight? Was it just no one to fight? No one would take the fight? Bellator wasn't offering it. Do you have any insight, like what took so long when you were so willing to fight?
I mean, I'm sure, it's all got to make sense to Bellator. I mean, they have a budget they've got to keep. They have a certain amount of fighters they owe a certain amount of fights to within a certain amount of time period. So, and then also too, I'm sure it's hard to fight guys who want to fight me. It's not like I got 1 million, Twitter and Instagram followers. I have this huge name behind me. I'm still working my way up as far as like gaining my popularity, and that kind of makes you what I'm going to call a low reward at this point. But I'm high risk because I'm knocking people the heck out, and people don't want to get knocked out. Being knocked out is scary. I mean, I'm not just like kind of TKO. No, these guys are going unconscious for a little bit, and and damage is being done. People don't want permanent damage being done to them, so that's an intimidating thing when someone can knock you out.
A while ago, you were calling out Dylan Dennis first. You were really lobbying for that fight. He wasn't going to take that fight. I didn't figure he was going to take that fight.
He don't want these problems, champ. He don't want these problems at all.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either. You were calling out Adam Piccolotti as well. He's back in the cage now, but that didn't end up coming up. And then you end up getting Carrington Banks. Couple less fights than you, still an undefeated fighter. What was your thought process when you first heard that was the name they were throwing at you? Were you happy with it? Were you hoping it was going to be somebody of a bigger name, bigger caliber?
It doesn't matter to me, man. Of course I wanted Dylan Dennis, but he don't want none. He hasn't responded to me in any sort of way through any of my challenges, whether it was in person, on social media, whatever. And then Adam Piccolotti, for some reason, thinking that he has one more win than me, thinks he's better than me, or something like that. So whatever, screw him. He don't want these problems either. But I was happy with Carrington Banks because he's another undefeated guy. He was on the Ultimate Fighter. He's got some good wins in Bellator. So although his record says 6-0, he's got some unregistered wins in there. So, in my opinion, he's right on the same level as me. He's a great wrestler, a great grappler. He's going to try and steal this fight with just, takedowns, lay and pray, and boring BS. I'm not going to have it. I will find a way to finish that man, whether it's knockout or submission, first round, second round, third round. It's going to be my night as always.
With your last 6 victories coming by first round knockout, well, one of them was a second round, but 5 of them were first round. Were you at all upset when you found out you wouldn't be on the main card? Like 2 undefeated fighters, you would think that this would be something that would be prime for the main card. First fight, second fight. Were you at all shocked it wasn't?
I was initially shocked and disappointed at first, and I expressed that through my social media. But after kind of reviewing who's on that card right now, I mean, these guys got 20-plus fights, and some of them have more fights in Bellator than Carrington and I have fights total. So, you know what? you got to give them their respect, and they pay their dues. They've been putting in that work and everything like that. So it's just working my way up, man. I hope there's a scenario where there's a quick win on the main card, and then, I'll get a quick win, and then we can fill that gap. Where you never know, man. Fight week, guys would be missing weight or messing up or not showing up or whatever, so anything can happen. So it doesn't matter to me. That's something I can't control, and I talk about this with my sports psychologist. If we can't control it, it can't bother us. At the end of the day, we got to show up 100%, perform to the best of our ability, and go in there and handle business.
Does it blow your mind that so many people don't make weight?
It pisses me off. It's in your contract. It's part of your job, and this is, stuff with my own teammates have this problem. And I'm like, will you come to me? Let's talk. Like, let's figure this out. Like, use your resources. It's not your lack of resources that causes the problem. It's your lack of resourcefulness. Reach out who you need to reach out to. Talk to who you need to talk to. Do the research. I mean, I've literally learned all my stuff with my own personal research. A lot of it through Mike Dolce. And I've never, the only thing I paid for Mike Dolce is a couple of his books. And other stuff, he's giving out free information. If that don't work for you, fine. But then figure it out. Find out what works for you and do it. It's part of your job. You're giving away money doing this. And it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility what you put into your body. It's your responsibility how you're training. Yeah. So you got to take ownership of that. I think a lot of people want to play the blame game or whatever. No, it's on you. Got to handle it.
Definitely. I was on your social media, and you said consistency, intensity, intelligence, and discipline bring me my victory. Elaborate on what you mean, because some people would say your opponent is all those things as well. If he's a professional and he's made it right, he probably has a lot of those same traits. So what does it make it different when you say it? What do you mean when you say it?
Because I'm doing it at the highest level possible. I mean, everyone kind of says what they're – you have to really check these people, because a lot of people will say that they're doing these things, but what you're saying and what you're doing are two different things. That's the gap. And I'm actually doing what I'm saying. When I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it. So when I'm doing my research, when I'm doing my mental preparation, my physical preparation, my spiritual preparation, all those things, when I'm, reaching out to all these amazing resources and putting all these amazing minds around me, that's not BS. That's really me doing it. A lot of these guys will just say this stuff to sound good and sound like they're professional, but they're really not doing it. And I think that shows up on fight night when you see the difference between someone, and I told you this for my last fight. You're going to see the difference between an okay fighter and someone who lives for this shit. I live for it, and I show it.
What do you think of Carrington as an opponent, and how do you feel he's going to stand up to your offense when you come out in the first round? Because so far, not many people have been able to stand it.
I mean, I think he's a great opponent. He's got a great wrestling and great grappling background. He's a JUCO national champion. I see a lot of gaps. I see a lot of gaps in his stand-up. I even see his predictability and when he shoots and, just the stuff that he does on top. And I see a lot of gaps for openings for submissions too. So, again, whether I catch him on the feet or whether this goes to the ground and I submit him, it will be done, and I will finish him. And he also fades as the fight goes too. So I hope his conditioning is well, and I hope he has a good weight cut, because otherwise it's going to be a really bad night for him. He starts out strong that first round, but man, I'm going to put a pace and a pressure. I'm going to hit him harder than he's ever been hit in his life. And he's going to realize that I come in there, I mean business, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go, and I've done the best training and best preparation I've ever done.
What do you think people look past when they get in there with you? Because I feel like, you're knocking people out in the first round. Like, I feel like maybe some people are getting in there and they're just not fully understanding something that you're bringing into the cage,
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but maybe they're just bringing it. But again, I feel like I'm just showing that gap. Mm-hmm. Who says that they're not taking me seriously or that they're not preparing to the best of their ability? But how consistent are they? How big of breaks are they taking between training camps? How well are they preparing and staying, on point, throughout the year, whether they're active or not? I mean, Carrington Banks has been out for a long time. His last opponent was my last opponent in Jake Roberts. So during that time, has he been training? Has he been improving? Has he been dieting? Has he been, improving his mind, his spirit, his physicality? I don't know. I know I have, and I'm willing to put it to the test.
One thing, so when I was preparing for this, I started, looking, I was watching your fights and stuff, and then I realized, I was like, in the past 2 years, there's like a round of footage. Like, if you add up all the footage of your fights, there's like a round. Do you think that it's an advantage to you that people, like, how it makes it harder to prepare, for you when there's nothing to watch?
Dude, you guys haven't seen anything. You guys haven't seen any part of my game. You guys haven't really even seen me kick yet too much, let alone show a great sprawl or show great takedowns or show my jiu-jitsu. And that's all there. And that's all on a high level. It's just that the fight starts on the feet, and I've been happening to finish it on the feet within the first, round or two. Lately, the last first round. So, maybe Carrington's the guy that's going to push a little bit and make me bring out some more stuff in my toolbox. Maybe he isn't. We'll see what happens. But we got a great game plan going into this. We got a great strategy. I've been working with Division I Olympic Training Center wrestlers. So, I'm ready to go, man, all fronts, as always.
What are you expecting from him in the cage when you guys get in there? What are you expecting to see?
He's probably gonna, he's probably gonna want to shoot pretty darn quick if he's smart. He's gonna want to close the distance and then press me against the fence, do a little takedown, and try to get top position, try to work to the back and put a hook in. But you know what? We have answers for all that, and we've got problems waiting for him in all assets, man. So, he can try to bring in his game plan, but it's not what about he's going to do. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to control the distance. I'm going to control the pace, and I'm going to put him away.
You were just talking a minute ago about the skills that we haven't got to see yet, and they're going to come out. Is there a part of you that hopes that he's the guy that can take you into those waters? Or would you? You're like, no, I want to end this shit.
If he's just another one that ends in the first round, then he's just another one that ends in the first round. If he's that guy that pushes me a little bit more, I get to show him more tricks in my toolbox, and you get to show some jiu-jitsu and some wrestling, then awesome, so be it. But I'm ready for anything, man, and that's why a lot of people are slipping on. They think I'm a one-trick guy. No, we know Carrington's a one-trick guy because he's been getting all these decisions in these past 3 or 4 fights. It's just been all decision. It hasn't been really entertaining, to be honest. No, I'm in there to put on an entertaining show and finish a fight because it's been proven a lot of these judges don't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm not going to leave it in their hands. It's in my control. I'm going to take ownership of this, come in there and put them away.
Speaking of things that are in your control, after your last fight with Jake Roberts, you were quick. You were on Dylan Dennis. You were in the octagon. You took very little time to get on Dylan Dennis. After this fight, you're going to be 9-0 if you finish it, and it's 9 finishes.
Yes, sir.
Who do you call out from there? Like, you got to, when you see Brent Primus kind of what happened with him, he kind of catapulted, got his shot, made the best of it, and there he is. But you guys got similar records. Adam Piccolotti, he's going to be trying to move his way up for a shot. Similar records. Do you feel like you're in that category, and where do you go from here? Who do you call out?
I'm ready for anyone, man. And I'll fight the top of the thing, but you have to realize that this is also a business too. So if you're going to give me top competition, give me the money that me and my family deserve. I put everything into this. So if you're going to, I don't mind fighting a guy like Brent Primus, Michael Chandler, Patricio Pitbull, Benson Henderson, Josh Thompson. I'll fight them all, but give me the money that I deserve for it 100%. Right now they're just kind of matching me up with these, guys who they feel are on my same level or experience or whatever, but I will keep showing that no, they're not on this level. I am so much higher on this level than Bellator is perceiving me. And I'm going to keep on showing it, and eventually they're going to recognize it sooner or later. Otherwise, they're going to lose out on me. I got this fight, and I got 2 more fights. So they got to show me something as far as their interest of willing to invest in me, promote me, market me. Otherwise, I'll make moves too.
Is that something that you think about, like what comes after, or how far are you guys off between like what you get and what you feel like you should get?
We're pretty far off as far as right now. Right now it's gotten better. Of course, It's gotten better. But again, like, this is my job. This is my life. This is everything to me, and I'm gonna keep on showing. Like, look at the work that I put in. I put in the work like I am the best in the world because I'm trained to be the best in the world, not just the best in the world, best ever. I aim for the top of the mountain, all right? And I'm not. And if you're aiming for anything lower than that, then you're in the wrong sport. I'm in it to be the absolute best, and I'm going to keep on showing through these performances, and I expect the proper compensation for it.
Definitely. One last question, man, for the fans out there. What can we expect to see from you in the cage on October 6th?
I'm going to go in there and finish this fight with devastating fashion. This will be a finish. I'm not going to predict whether, what round it's going to be in or how, but it will be in a finish. My hand will be raised, and then just wait for the call and wait for and get ready for the next one. I hear there's a card coming to Southern California in the Forum January 20th. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's have me fight on there. Let's go back to Chicago, fight in Chicago again. Just keep me active, keep me going, and keep moving me up the ranks so I can get that belt.
One last question, man. How important is that when you go into contract negotiations? Is it as important as the money when you start talking about activity? Because that makes a huge difference, right?
Absolutely, and that's something that myself and Tiki have been talking about a lot, man. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I want to be an active fighter, and I want to move my way up these ranks, and because again, the more I fight, the more money I make, and the more I can provide for my family. I don't want my wife to work anymore. I want her to stay, home with my son and spend time with him, and I want to be able to dedicate myself as a full-time fighter. And if I want to work something on the side, and then I'll do that. But I want to get to that point, man, where my family is taken care of in the manner in which they should be, and they deserve a lot. So I'm going to ask for a lot.
You keep racking up these bodies in the first round, my friend.
Let's go, champ.
I'm afraid that
Let's go.
Right? Listen, man, thank you so much for your time, and I always enjoy talking to you. The conversation's great. I really appreciate you making some time for us, brother, and best of luck in the fight. I'll be tuned in.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, man. You're such a cool dude. I'll be on anytime you'll have me. Make sure you stay tuned. October 6th is going down. I'm going to finish Carrington Banks. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Take care, my man. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Take care.
It's this next wave of guys, that there's just again, it's just this theme that we're getting.
Yeah.
Everybody's just educated. He obviously he knows he knows exactly what he wants to do with his career.
He's like so intense. He's so intense about the preparation. Like you hear him talking, it's like spiritually, physically, like in any way you can be prepared. This guy's prepared. Yeah, I dig that.
And I love that he's talking about resourcefulness and like using all kinds of different like sources to try to learn how to just diet and
just learn something.
If you do, man, you're like that. If it's the kind of guy that doesn't sit around to ask for like direction.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude, man. Carrington Banks is no joke. Tough dude. We're gonna see what happens, man. But I like Kozola. Guy's devastating people. Yeah. 5 of his last 6, all of them knockouts. 5 of them in the first round.
Yeah, if he keeps doing that, it's not going to be very long until he's in a main event fight.
You have to think like, if he goes out there and knocks out Carrington Banks in the first round, I would have to feel like he's 1 fight away.
Yeah. What more could you possibly ask for?
What could you want?
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like you got a guy that's like just KOing the shit out of people.
And again, Bellator has that. Seems like they're doing something well again. Like, does the UFC have anybody that's doing that? I don't think so. That many knockouts in a row?
I don't know. No, Cody,
the whole roster, everybody.
He's coming off a decision.
Yeah, but it's rare.
Yeah, it is rare. It is rare. It's been a good show so far, man. 2 good interviews. We're going to be back. We got Emmanuel Sanchez. He's also competing on the same card, 184. We spoke with his opponent, Daniel Straus, earlier, so we're going to get him on, talk to him, ask him what he feels about being dumped on his neck. And after we're going to have a chat. We're going to see what he feels about the fight and where he's at, where his head's at. Stay with us. We're going to be right back with Emmanuel Sanchez. Tune in. What's up, Fight House fans? Unfortunately, we were unable to get Emmanuel Sanchez on the line. We're having a bit of a technical issue. Hopefully, we can get that worked out and get him back on the show either tonight or next week. Stay with us, though. We do have Maycee Barber coming up next to talk about her big win over Mallory Martin at LFA 22. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Maycee Barber. What's up, Fight House fans? We're here with Maycee Barber coming off her victory over Mallory Martin at LFA 22. Perez versus Heinisch. What's going on? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
No problem, Maycee. Glad to have you. How's everything been? How you feeling?
I feel great, and everything's been great.
Sweet. Thanks for making some time. I know you guys are out hunting today, so I appreciate it. How was it? Did you tag anything? How'd it go?
No, we didn't get anything. A couple of the guys I'm with, my dad and my brother and stuff, they saw some elk, but I didn't. And neither did my brother, so yeah.
Sorry, you saw some elk?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, you said you saw some elk?
No. So the guys I'm with, they did, but we did not tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this something you've done for a while, or have you taken it up recently, or is this something you did your whole life?
No, I've been hunting my whole life. My dad has been hunting his whole life, and then, as, like, growing up, that's, he was hunting, and he would take us hunting, and, yeah.
Sweet. What's the biggest thing you've ever shot?
So far, I've only killed elk, and I've killed turkeys. I'm hoping to get a deer this year. I have a deer tag this year.
Sweet. You're coming off a big win over Mallory Martin at LFA 22. It was a great fight overall, really entertaining 3 rounds. What was your thoughts about your performance?
Overall, I thought my performance was great, given the circumstances. I feel like I was not 100%. In fact, my coaches told me they're like, you were not, you were probably 50% of the fighter, 50, 60% of the fighter that you are, which I could tell. But, overall, my performance was great. I thought that the challenge was really good for me because it's a good mental challenge and it's a good test of heart.
What was it exactly? I haven't been able to catch it. I know you missed weight. You had weight issues. You missed weight by about 8 pounds. What was the cause of that? What were the issues you were dealing with?
I had a few different issues, personal issues coming through just with life that kind of came out of nowhere, and I've been dealing with it for a little while. And one of my nutritionists was telling me how cortisol is like one of the number one things that makes you not able to cut the rest of the weight, and my body just shut down and it wouldn't cut the rest of the weight. I cut 12 pounds of water, and then I was sweating great, and then all of a sudden I was sitting in the sauna and I just stopped sweating, and we couldn't push anymore.
Yeah, in the lead up to the fight, I know you had done your camp at Jackson Wink, from what I could tell with the social media. What was that like? Was that a permanent move for you, or is that something that you just did for this one camp?
Training at Jackson Wink?
Yeah. Because I know you did some time in Colorado too. Like, you used to split it up a little bit, but it seemed, from what I could tell on social media, you had done most of your camp at Jackson Wink this time. Is that a permanent thing?
No, actually, I split most of my time between Jackson Wink and between training with Ryan Schultz still. My two coaches are Brandon Gibson and Ryan Schultz, and I travel down to train with Brandon as much as I can.
Okay.
When he's in town, and it just happened to be that because of Ray Borg fighting for the title, that he was down there, so I just tried to get as much time as I could with them, and then also travel back up to Colorado.
We were in contact on the evening just before you fought, and you were on your way to the BMF ranch to put in some rounds with Cowboy. Talk about how valuable that experience was to get times in with a vet like Cowboy and just putting rounds in.
It was a great experience. I've always wanted to go up there. He's one of my favorite fighters, so to go up there and to be around people that I enjoy, as fighters and as people, it was really great.
When I was watching the fight, I noticed, as you did in your first fight, you came out extremely aggressive. It seemed to be a bit of a problem. It seemed to overwhelm Mallory Martin a little bit early on. Was that part of the game plan, to come out and just push the pace and put it on her early?
We didn't really have a game plan. Obviously we knew that she was the aggressive fighter.
Yeah.
And we were kind of planning on that, but we were ready to take the fight wherever it went, and we kind of had different challenges. So, my legs were shot from the beginning of the fight. So my whole game plan, I had no mental capacity. I feel like, I just think that my body was just going off of what it's always been trained to do, and that's the fight. There was no technical thought process going on for me. At least that's how I feel like it went.
Yeah. How tight was the triangle? You had her in I was surprised you didn't finish it. I was shocked, actually. How tight was that triangle you had her in, and you're putting torques on her arms and everything? Did it surprise you that she didn't quit?
Yeah, everyone that I've talked to that has seen that fight says the same thing. I was actually talking about this morning. They were like, she's got such a small head, and it seems like she could pop out of the triangle that easily. And I did. I had it tight, but like I said, I had no squeeze in my legs, and the only thing that I could think about was I have a little bit left in me, and if I squeeze as hard as I can, and she's tough, if she doesn't go out, then my legs are not going to be able to stand on. So I kind of had to think about it, and that's why I started going for the arm, was because I knew that if I tried to squeeze, then I wouldn't be able to use my legs anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I went for the arm, and I tried to pull that, and then that's when she got out of it.
You pulled an interesting move off. You were on your back in the triangle, and you used this kind of you sprung yourself from your back and ended up on top in the mount. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
actually, I've seen that over and over, and actually the reason why I remembered to do that is because I practiced that because I saw Brian Ortega do it, because he's, T-City. So I've seen him do that, and that's actually where I got that.
Okay, it was so cool. I was sitting here watching the fight, and I was just like, what'd she just do? Rewind that for a second. What did I just watch?
Yeah, it's kind of like a bridge. Yeah.
yeah. It was incredible. Well done. She had a fair amount of top control, even though you were the more active fighter. You were throwing more shots. You were attacking with submissions off your back. Were you worried at all when the fight ended, which way the decision would go?
No, I knew I had it because I was more active. I did more damage. Even though I was on my back, I couldn't get off my back. Like I said, I'm not going to keep saying about my legs, but
Yeah.
I couldn't get off my back. So I'm like, you know, I learned how to throw elbows. I know how to do damage, and I've done jiu-jitsu for a long time, and being able to throw elbows off my back, that's just another part. You can't ever be I guess disadvantage, even when you're in the lesser position, I guess, is how I look at it. You know, you always got to fight. And I wasn't fighting to, you know, I actually was fighting because I wanted to finish her, but it's not how it went down. So, you know, I was fighting to win.
What's next for you? What do you want to do next?
Well, as far as I know, I'm on the 60-day suspension, so I have to wait on that. But then after that, I was told that I might get Dern, so Mackenzie Dern, for either November or December. Whether she makes 115 pounds or 125, I have no idea. I know she's supposed to fight October 13th, I think.
Yeah.
But I know
that's
at 125. So if she doesn't make 115 again, I mean, I'd fight her at 125. But honestly, I don't know what's next. I'm just waiting to hear on that.
What is it that you see in her game that gives you the confidence that you could win that fight? Because you've said this to me a few times about fighting Mackenzie Dern, and what is it about her style?
I just feel like she's a little bit I wouldn't say, I guess not overrated, but she's really hyped up, and she was really big in the jiu-jitsu world. But the problem is when you translate to MMA, jiu-jitsu for MMA and jiu-jitsu for jiu-jitsu is completely different. You know, she's really great at what she has been doing as far as like competing in the world championships and whatever she has done for the jiu-jitsu, but her MMA is lacking because it doesn't translate. You know, you have to think about, for her, she has to think about striking when she's in grappling.
Yeah.
And when she has to do that, her grappling suffers. And when she's grappling and she has to think about striking, then her striking suffers. So it's hard for her to translate the two together. So she has a lot of holes, you know. So, and I feel like I can expose those and I can show that, you know, she's not as big of a hype as she's trying to make herself.
Fair enough. You know, we're seeing a lot of girls now that the UFC's announced that they're going to do a 125 division. We're seeing a lot of girls moving from 115 or 135 and finding their way to that 125. Is that something you would consider, or are you comfortable at 115?
I would consider it, but right now, as far as I'm concerned, I am a 115-pound fighter.
Yeah.
That's where I belong. You know, I'm perfect for that size. You know, this weight cut did not allow me to get to 115, and I've done it before, and I know I can do it again.
Yeah.
You know, we just had the unforeseen things happen, and
sure.
I'm not opposed to fighting at 125, but the goal for me is to walk around at 128, 127, and then if I get, you know, a short notice, like 1 week out, hey, can you fight at 125, then I'll do that.
Right.
Ultimately, you know, the plan is to walk around at those seasons, cut to 115, you know, on a full fight camp.
Sweet. Listen, I'm going to let you go because I know that you're in the truck, you're on your way, you're trying to get home. So thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it, and I hope all the best, and we see you back in the cage sooner than later.
Yeah, thank you very much.
100%. Have a great night, Maycee. Good luck with the hunting.
You too. You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
It's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
She's going to be real good. She's so well-rounded. Like, you watch her fight.
Yeah.
Most girls aren't. Like, if you watch a women's MMA, a lot of them I find aren't well-rounded, really.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Well,
good.
she's training one of the best places in the world.
Sure.
You're going to learn really, really fast, especially at that age.
Yeah, she's so young. That's the thing, right? That's the kicker. The growth is crazy.
Yeah.
Between one fight and the next, like, you just see such a different person.
Especially when you're paying attention to T-City, boy. Love
Right?
that. Love that guy so much. It's like my favorite fighter right now. Every time I make a bet on that guy, he just comes back and just wins the fight. I'm like, this guy's the best. Just go nuts. But yeah, I'm excited to see if she does end up facing Mackenzie Dern. That's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, definitely. She'd have to be leery. Like, I mean, you don't want to get caught on the ground with Mackenzie Dern, right?
Yeah,
It's not a
for
place
sure.
you want to be, but I think she could hold her own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, strikes hard, and
Yeah.
like she said, you know, the transition from just pure grappling into MMA is not an easy one. So
Definitely not. And she showed that she can go the distance in this last fight too. She can tough it out a bit too.
yeah. Well, it was another great week. 3 really good guests. Hopefully we can get Emmanuel Sanchez back on next weekend.
For sure.
Or next week, sorry. We weren't able to make that happen this week, but we'll work on that. Other than that, 3 good ones. So
just getting better every week.
Yeah. I enjoyed all the conversations too. Daniel Straus, Steve Kozola, Maycee Barber, 3 great guests.
Definitely, Straus seems like he's like laser focused. He knows exactly what he needs to get done.
He just seems like he's ready to brutalize.
Yeah.
Steve Kozola, probably one of the most promising 155ers around. Yeah. So I look forward to that.
A lot of spunk in that one.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. He's a good guy, good fighter. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed doing it. And thanks for tuning in. This is episode 26. It's me, Jason Sutcliffe, with
Tristan Keddy.
Enjoy your night.